What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. I hope all is well with you. Guys, remember to hit the like and, of course, subscribe. Make sure you remain subscribed. And if you want to contribute to the channel, you can do so on the Super Thanks feature on each and every one of my videos right there along the bottom of the screen. Thank you very much. Now, guys, let's get into the topic of the video. We are in an exciting time. This is the eve before the major official release of James Gunn's Superman movie. Yes, this is the movie everyone is talking about, everyone was waiting for. It's going to be up to you, the audience, now. All right. None of the people who had advanced screenings and all of this stuff and special hookups. Now, Superman belongs to us, the people, and it will be the people who get to decide whether this movie is yay or nay. All right. But until then, you might remember that I did a video a couple of days ago talking about the writer director James Gunn and how he just couldn't seem to shut the F up. And I felt like he was going to distract from his own movie. And you guys, this has come to pass because everyone is talking about James Gunn and his comments about Superman being an immigrant. What a ridiculous thing for people to be running with and fighting over and all that stuff. But here we are, guys. And don't you miss the days when movies and TV shows and especially music used to bring us together? Remember that when we used to share things together, even commercials. I like to buy the world a Coke and keep me company. No, I'm really dating myself. There's no way you guys remember that. But anyway, commercials, jingles is what I'm talking about. We used to sing together. We used to dance together, but now everything is just divisive. Even a statement like Superman is an immigrant, people are going to fight over that. But I saw it coming because James Gunn doesn't know how to zip it. In these days on social media, or as I call it, anti-social media, that's all it takes. So that is what's happened. But what I didn't foresee happening was Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman star Dean Cain sounding off. Yes, former Superman Dean Cain has taken exception with what James Gunn had to say. Now we're going to look at what Mr. Cain had to say. By the way, guys, you might remember that I was on a stream with Dean Cain not that long ago when I was invited to go on to Flashcast, and we had a good old time. I found Dean Cain to be a cool dude, man. It's like we talked about everything, including my son and, raising him to play football and everything. And he's just a good dude, man. But what it is he's conservative, and that's all it takes. If you're Pedro Pascal, you can pretty much say anything you freaking want to say, but that only goes one way. So we got the headline here in deadline.com, and it says Dean Cain says James Gunn made a mistake calling Superman an immigrant. How woke is Hollywood going to make this character? Now, Dean Cain was in an interview with TMZ, apparently, and he said that what cracks me up is that people don't like Superman. He was traditionally called the Big Blue Boy Scout, and Superman's inherent weakness is his goodness, Cain said in an interview with TMZ, like I said. Sorry, those are great values in my opinion, and I root for that. He's reacting, of course, to when James Gunn said that Superman is the story of America. Okay, he's all about America now. Everywhere around the world, they come into America. I'm surprised we don't like bump that song more these days, right? Today, Neil Diamond. So he said, yeah, Superman is the story of America, an immigrant that came from other places and populated the country. Now, Superman did not come from other places. He came from another planet, man. That's an entirely different thing. But for me, it's mostly a story that says basic human kindness is a value and is something we have lost. Okay, nobody's really going to argue with that, man. I mean, these days, good Lord, it's brutal out in these streets, man. But Fox News host Jesse Waters joked that Superman now had an MS-13 on his cape. Ooh, that's ugly work right there, man. So you're saying Superman is MS-13? He's a Mexican gang member at this point because James Gunn said he was an immigrant? So Cain went on to say, how woke is Hollywood going to make this character? How much is Disney going to change their Snow White? Uh-oh. Why are they going to change these characters to exist for the times? So he said that for Superman, it was truth, justice, and the American way. Well, they dropped that. They let the trademark on that go. So it's out there, and they came up with truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. Well, now they took it a step further, Dean. Now it's truth, justice, and the human way. Like a better tomorrow was just too vague, but they have to say the human way. And guys, what do you think about that? What do you think about truth, justice, and the American way versus truth, justice, and the human way? Do you prefer the human way? Well, let me give you my opinion on that. I feel like the human way is way too unspecific, man. The human way can be kind, but it's also mean. The human way can be deadly, murderous, aggressive. That's the human way. You understand what I'm saying? Like the American way can be all of those things as well. But when you say truth, justice, in the American way, you're talking about the American ideal, what we want to be in this country. We want to be better. So that's what you stand for. That's what the flag stands for. We all know that America did some dirty shit in history, but we want to believe that we can always be better. That's the American way, the American dream. It's all part of that. There's no shame in that. So anyway, he goes on to say, changing beloved characters, I don't think is a great idea. I think if you want to create a new character, go ahead and do that. But for me, Superman has always stood for truth, justice, and the American way, he added. And the American way is immigrant friendly, tremendously immigrant friendly. But there are rules. Of course, these guys, they want to gaslight you because every time they talk about immigration, they just think you're anti immigrant completely, but we're talking about legal versus illegal, documented versus undocumented immigrants. And of course, any fool can tell you, you just don't let anybody into your house. Your house, okay? If it helps people to understand it a little bit better than that, do you just leave the door wide open on your house every night, regardless? I think not. So anyway, he says, there are rules. Okay, so let's see. He said it was a mistake by Gunn to say it's an immigrant thing. And he believes the comments will hurt the box office, which is what I was saying in my video. It wasn't my opinion, that what he said was out of line, but it was my opinion that what he said could distract from the marketing of his movie 100%. So Dean Cain is saying the same thing. He goes on to say, I was excited for the film. I'm still excited to see what it is because James Gunn seems to have a sense of humor. And the last iterations of Superman didn't have much humor. Shots fired. Zack Snyder, keep your head down. Super serious, Zack Snyder. Why did you say that name? Why did you say that name? So I'm rooting for it to be a success, but I don't like that last political comment. Okay, I can dig it. I don't have a problem with what Dean Cain is saying right here. Okay. And when you really think about it, guys, when you really think about immigrants and all that stuff, let's just take a quick look at something I want to show you guys. Okay. Immigrants, the actual definition of immigrant, a person who comes to a country to take up permanent residence. Okay, so a person who comes to a country to take a permanent residence. When Kal-El was sent to Earth, he was not specifically sent to the United States of America. He was sent to a planet. Okay, I feel foolish even talking about this, man. God, it's Superman. You know what I'm saying? He came from one planet that was being destroyed to another planet where his family thought that he was going to be able to live, and survive. So that is not really immigrant specific. You know what I mean? I don't feel that immigrant describes that the way that it was. All right. But what I think is a little bit more appropriate would be refugee. I think the definition of refugee. Now, the definition of a refugee is a person who has been forced to leave their country or planet in this case in order to escape war, persecution, or natural disaster. Natural disaster. Krypton blew the hef up. That I would say that qualifies as a national or a natural disaster. Wouldn't you? Yeah, I think I would. So honestly, what the takeaway would have to be here is that I would say Superman was more likely a refugee. Yeah, yeah. Superman's a refugee. Superman is a refugee. Right? Okay, so let's keep it funky, man. He wasn't an immigrant, right? He was a refugee. I don't know, you know. But anyway, this is the discourse. This is the argument. You got all types of people claiming that the movie is woke, and it's based on this and a couple of other things. Now, I won't be seeing the movie. I remember mentioning it to you guys. I won't be seeing it till this weekend. All right, actually on Sunday. So I will be making the determination for myself whether the movie is quote woke. I'm more concerned with whether it's good, man. I really don't care about these hangups and all that stuff. But if you do, you can get in the comment section and let me know if you've been turned off by what James Gunn said. Do you agree with Dean Cain? Although Dean Cain is still going to go see the movie, but listen, guys, we have our own mind, okay? Like, I don't want to hear what your favorite content creator said. You know, if you're that person who just waits to get your marching orders from another content creator, even me, you know, then I don't know what to tell you, bro. But yeah, I want to know what your opinion is on what Dean Cain had to say, what James Gunn had to say. Is that going to affect you? If you haven't seen the movie yet, from would that deter you from seeing it? Get in the comment section and let me know. As always, guys, as I said at the top of the video, you can like, you can subscribe, and you can contribute to the channels through the super thanks. And I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you putting up with me. And I will catch you on the next one, guys. This is the gospel according to Mark with a C. Rock on.